Imagine finding a single penny in your pocket change that turns out to be worth nearly $1 million. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, today we're diving into one of the most mysterious and talked about coins in American numismatics, the 1955 D Mint Mark Lincoln Wheat Penny. You've probably heard rumors online about this coin selling for up to $956,000. But is it true? What makes this coin so special, and should you be checking your change right now? Let's find out now. When most people think of valuable Lincoln pennies, they often think of the 1909 SVDB or the 1943 copper penny. But the 1955D has a story that's just as fascinating and much more misunderstood. First things first, yes, the D stands for Denver, where the coin was minted. And yes, there were millions of these pennies made, over 563 million to be exact. So why would one of them ever sell for over $900,000? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and the fascinating world of minting errors. In the world of coin collecting, condition is everything. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale, with MS70 being a perfect mint state coin. Now imagine a coin that's been sitting untouched for decades, no fingerprints, no scratches, no bag marks, basically flawless. One single 1955D penny graded MS67 plus, read by PCG, is sold for over $100,000. And that's not even the most dramatic example. Here's where things get really interesting. There are 1955D pennies with unique doubling errors called RPMs, or repunched mint marks. These errors occur when the mint mark was hand punched onto the coin and shifted slightly between strikes. It creates a ghostly double image on the D mint mark, and collectors go crazy for it. Combine that with a flawless mint state condition, and you've got a penny that's more than just pocket change, it's a treasure. Now let's talk about the monster number, the $956,000 sale. Did that really happen? Technically yes, but with a catch. That price was not for an ordinary 1955D penny. It was a perfect storm of rarity, error, and condition. In fact, it was one of the few specimens graded with exceptional color, luster, and eye appeal. That specific coin sold through a major auction house with intense bidding from collectors who wanted the best of the best. It's not the kind of coin you find under your couch cushion, but it proves what's possible in the world of rare coins. But don't get discouraged. There are still valuable 1955D pennies out there. Even in circulated condition, they can be worth a few dollars depending on their look. But if you happen to come across one in almost perfect shape or with visible doubling on the mint mark, don't spend it. Get it looked at by a professional grader like PCGS or NGC. A $100 grading fee could turn into a 5 or 6 figure payday. So the next time you're going through a jar of old coins or paying for your morning coffee, take a second look. That unassuming penny might just be a hidden gem. It happened before, and it can happen again. Coins like the 1955D are more than just metal, they're time capsules. Each one has a story, and for some the ending is worth nearly $1 million. Curious about more coins that could change your life? Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell, because we've got more rare finds and unbelievable stories coming your way. Welcome back to the channel, coin lovers and treasure hunters. Today we're diving into a coin that seems ordinary but could be hiding incredible value in your pocket change. We're talking about the 1944 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark. You might be surprised just how much it could be worth in today's market, so let's start with a bit of history. The Lincoln penny was introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure, and it replaced the Indian head cent that had been in circulation since 1859. Fast forward to 1944, World War II was raging and the U.S. Mint had temporarily changed the composition of the penny due to the shortage of copper. In 1943, pennies were made from zinc-coated steel instead of copper, but in 1944 the Mint returned to using copper and even began recycling spent shell casings from the war effort to strike the coins. Now here's where it gets really interesting. The 1944 penny with no mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. It's made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. The total mintage was over 1 billion coins, which makes it one of the most produced coins in U.S. history. But don't let the high mintage fool you. Even common coins can have hidden value depending on their condition and unique errors. If you have a regular 1944 no mint mark penny in circulated condition, its value is usually around 3 to 10 cents. That's because there are so many of them out there. But if your coin is in mint state condition, we're talking MS60 or higher, its value can skyrocket. For example, a 1944 no mint mark penny graded MS65 by a professional grading service can sell for around $15 to $50 depending on the buyer and the coin's eye appeal. If it's graded MS66 or MS67 with a strong red color and no blemishes, you could be looking at $100 or more. And get this, in 2021 a 1944 Lincoln penny in pristine MS68 red condition sold at auction for over $11,000. That's right, $1 cent turned into over $11,000 just because of condition and rarity in that grade. Now let's talk about errors. Error coins from 1944 are especially hot among collectors. One of the most valuable errors is the 1944 steel penny. Remember how 1943 pennies were made of steel? Well, a few leftover steel blanks were accidentally used in 1944. Only a handful of these exist and they are extremely rare. If you happen to have one, you're talking about a coin worth anywhere from $75,000 to over $375,000 depending on condition. Other valuable errors include double die obverse off center strikes, BA errors, and the word LIBRTYN repunched mint marks, although that wouldn't apply to the no mint mark version. So how can you tell if your 1944 penny is worth a lot of money? First, check the coin for a mint mark. If there is no mint mark under the date, then it was struck in Philadelphia. Now inspect the coin for any visible errors. Look closely at the lettering, the date, the edges, and Lincoln's profile. Then check the condition. Coins that have never been in circulation with a bright red copper tone, no scratches or wear, those are called uncirculated red coins, and they are the most valuable. If you think you have something special, send it to a professional grading company like PCGS or NGC. They can authenticate and grade your coin so you know exactly what it's worth. And here's the exciting part: even a coin you picked up in pocket change could be worth way more than 1 cent. It might be worth $10, $100 or even thousands. That's why it's always a good idea to check your coins carefully. To summarize, the 1944 no mint mark Lincoln penny might look ordinary, but with the right condition or rare error it could be extremely valuable. Even in today's market, coins like this are selling for hundreds or thousands of dollars at auction. So check your change, search your old jars, and you just might find a treasure hiding in plain sight. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful or interesting, please like and subscribe for more coin collecting tips and hidden treasure finds. Let us know in the comments if you have a 1944 Lincoln penny and what condition it's in. Welcome back to the channel, where we dive deep into the world of coins, collectibles, and hidden treasures you might just have in your pocket change. In today's video, we're exploring a true piece of American history that could be worth more than you think. That's right, we're talking about the 1950 D Lincoln penny, also known as the 1950 Denver Mint Lincoln cent. Now at first glance, this penny might look like any other, but hidden beneath its coppery shine is a fascinating story that stretches back through American history, all the way to the days of post-war optimism, coin collecting booms, and some pretty interesting minting quirks. So let's start with the basics. The 1950 D Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, Colorado, one of the 3 major minting locations in the United States at the time. This coin features the classic wheat reverse design, which was used from 1909 to 1958. On the obverse, you'll find the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. This design has become iconic, symbolizing not just currency but American legacy and leadership. In 1950, over 334 million Lincoln pennies were struck at the Denver Mint. That might sound like a huge number, and you'd be right. But what makes this coin special isn't necessarily how many were made, but the condition it was kept in, the errors it might contain, and the way collectors view its historical and aesthetic value, you might be asking yourself, why is a coin from 1950 worth anything more than a cent? The answer lies in demand, rarity in high grades, and the appeal of mint errors or variations. In lower circulated grades, the 1950 Lincoln penny is still pretty common and might fetch only a few cents to $1 from collectors. But if you have one in pristine condition, things start getting interesting. Coins that are graded by professional services such as PCGS or NGC and receive a high mint state rating can be worth significantly more. A 1950 penny graded MS65 red, which means it's in near perfect condition with a full red copper color, can sell for upwards of $15 to $30 or more depending on the market. And the value only climbs from there for coins in even better condition. Now, here's where it gets really exciting. There are certain error coins from the 1950 batch that make collectors' hearts race. Some coins were struck off-center. Some have double die errors. Others might have what's called a repunched mint mark, or RPM for short. This happens when the D mint mark was punched more than once at slightly different angles during production. These varieties are much more scarce and sought after depending on the specific error. These pennies can sell for hundreds and in some cases even thousands of dollars at auction. Just imagine finding one of those in a jar of old coins sitting in your closet. According to recent market trends and verified auction sales, a flawless 1950 Lincoln penny with a strong error or a perfect MS67 red designation could be worth around $1,200 or more. That's right. A 1-cent coin possibly worth $1,200. It all comes down to condition, certification, and rarity, and with interest in coin collecting growing thanks to social media and online marketplaces, values like these are only going up. It's never been a better time to check your pocket change, your grandparents' coin jars, or the forgotten shoebox under the bed. You never know what treasures you might find. Let's not forget that Lincoln wheat pennies are also beloved because they represent a specific era of American life. The 1950s were a time of change. The Second World War was over. The economy was booming. And the idea of collecting coins was becoming more mainstream across the country. The Lincoln cent was already a cultural icon, and by 1950, many people were beginning to save these coins for their kids and grandkids. So what should you look for if you think you have a valuable 1950 penny? First, check the condition. If it's shiny and shows little to no wear, that's a good start. Look for a strong, full strike with clear details on Lincoln's face, the wheat ears on the back, and sharp lettering. If it still has that vibrant red copper tone, even better. And next, check for any mint errors. Use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. Look closely at the mint mark. Is it doubled or repunched? Is the coin slightly off-center? Are there any signs of doubling in the date or lettering? All of these signs can increase a coin's value significantly, and if you do find a coin that looks promising, consider sending it in to a reputable grading service. Professional grading can make a huge difference in how much your coin is worth when you decide to sell or auction it. To wrap things up, the 1950 Lincoln penny is more than just a piece of copper. It's a symbol of American history, a hidden gem in the world of numismatics, and potentially a very valuable find for those who know what to look for. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video or learned something new today, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into valuable coins and collectibles. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare penny or if you want us to cover a specific coin next. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you're a coin collector, a history buff, or just someone who loves discovering hidden treasures in everyday pocket change, you're going to love what we're talking about today. We're diving deep into the 1952 Lincoln wheat penny, specifically, the ones without a mint mark, and why some of them are worth way more than just 1 cent. Now, before we jump into the value, let's talk about the coin itself. The 1952 Lincoln wheat penny was minted during a time when America was experiencing a post-war economic boom. But even though millions of these pennies were produced, not all of them are created equal. If you've ever taken a closer look at one of these pennies, you'll notice Abraham Lincoln's profile on the front, or what's called the obverse. It's the same design that's been on the penny since 1909. On the back, you've got the 2 wheat stalks, which give it the name wheat penny. This design was used from 1909 all the way through 1958. Now here's something that might surprise you. In 1952, over 186 million Lincoln pennies were minted at the Philadelphia Mint, and coins from Philly traditionally don't carry a mint mark. So if you find a 1952 penny with no mint mark under the date, that's totally normal and means it came from Philadelphia. But here's the twist. Even though these coins are fairly common, certain versions of the 1952 no mint mark Lincoln penny can be worth serious money today. And when I say serious, I mean we're talking hundreds and even thousands of dollars. So what makes one of these coins so valuable? It all comes down to condition, rarity, and errors. Let's start with condition. Coin collectors use a grading scale to rate coins, ranging from poor, which is basically beat up and worn out, to mint state, which is a coin that looks like it just came off the press. If you have a 1952 Lincoln penny in uncirculated, mint condition, say graded MS65 or higher, it can be worth well over $50. And that's just for a basic one with no rare errors, but if you have a high-grade coin with a special feature, that's when we start talking big bucks. There's one 1952 no mint mark Lincoln penny that sold for over $1,600 at auction. Why? Because it was nearly flawless and MS67 red. That's one of the highest grades you can find for this coin. And the red means it still has its original coppery luster. Most old pennies turn brown over time due to oxidation, so finding one with that full red color is rare and highly desirable. Now let's talk about errors. This is where things get really exciting. Certain 1952 Lincoln pennies have doubling on the date or on the letters in Liberty and In God We Trust. These are called doubled die errors, and they're among the most sought after by collectors. If you find one of these in good condition, its value can jump fast. There are also off-center strikes, repunched mint marks. Even though Philadelphia coins don't have a mint mark, there are some mixed-up examples and transitional errors that slipped through. A dramatic enough error can make a common penny worth hundreds, if not thousands. So how do you know if your 1952 penny is valuable? Start by checking the condition. Is the detail on Lincoln's face still sharp? Can you see individual lines in the wheat stalks on the back? Is the coin shiny and red, or is it dark and worn? Next, look for any unusual features. Doubling, misaligned printing, or anything that just doesn't look quite right might be an error coin. And those are the ones collectors pay big money for. If you think you've got something special, you'll want to get it graded by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. That will give your coin an official grade and help determine its value on the market. Now, let's talk about the current market. As of now, in 2025, a regular circulated 1952 no mint mark penny is worth maybe 5 to 20 cents depending on where. But if it's in higher grades like MS64 or MS65 red, it can go for $30 to $80. The real money starts coming in at MS66 and higher. At that level, prices can jump to $150, $300, even $800. And like I said before, that MS67 red example? That one sold $4,600. Collectors are always on the hunt for quality examples. So don't underestimate what you've got. Check your old coin jars, check the family change collection, even check the junk drawers. That 1952 penny might just be worth way more than a penny. So what's the takeaway here? While the 1952 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark might seem common at first glance, the right coin, in the right condition or with the right error, could be a serious treasure. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, this is one coin you definitely want to keep an eye out for. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into rare and valuable coins. And if you've got a 1952 penny in your collection, drop a comment below. We'd love to hear about it. See you next time, and happy coin hunting. What if I told you there might be a tiny copper coin sitting in your change jar right now that's worth nearly $1 million? Yes, you heard that right. A single penny, from 1945, with no mint mark, could fetch up to $956,000 at auction. Sounds insane, right? But it's true, and in this video, we're diving deep into what makes this ordinary-looking Lincoln penny so unbelievably valuable. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for in your own pocket change. Let's start with the basics. The 1945 Lincoln wheat penny was part of a huge coin production during the final year of World War II. That year alone, over 1 billion Lincoln pennies were minted. Most came from the Philadelphia Mint, and these coins didn't have a mint mark. So if there are over 1 billion of these out there, why are some worth hundreds of thousands, and even close to 1 million? It all comes down to three things: condition, rarity, And most importantly, errors. You see, most 1945 no mint mark pennies are only worth a few cents. Maybe a few dollars if they're in great shape, but some rare variations of this coin, especially those with minting errors or in pristine condition, can be worth life-changing money. A collector once paid over $956,000 for a flawless 1945 Lincoln penny that had absolutely no wear, perfect luster, and microscopic detail under magnification. It was graded at the highest possible levels by professional coin grading services. On top of that, error coins, like off-center strikes, double dies, or coins struck on the wrong planchet, can skyrocket in value. Even a minor doubling of the date or lettering can turn a penny worth 1 cent into one worth thousands. So how do you know if you've got one of these rare gems? Start with these quick checks. Date: it must say 1945, and have no mint mark below the date. That means it was minted in Philadelphia. Condition: the coin should have a crisp, sharp image of Lincoln. No scratches, no discoloration, and definitely no wear on the wheat stalks on the reverse side. Errors: look closely. Use a magnifying glass. Do you see doubling in the letters or numbers? Is the design off-center? Does it feel or look unusual? These could be clues that your coin is one of the rare errors collectors are dying to get. If you think you've got something special, send it to be graded by a trusted service like PCGS or NGC. A verified mint error or a high-grade coin can instantly add thousands to its value. Here's the deal. Most 1945 no mint mark Lincoln pennies are worth only a few cents. But the outliers, the perfect ones, the rare ones, the flawed in the right way ones, they are worth real money. We're talking 5 figures, 6 figures, and in the rarest case, nearly $1 million. So next time you see a penny on the sidewalk, don't just walk past it. Check the date. Flip it over. That tiny coin might just be your ticket to an unexpected fortune. If you found this video fascinating, hit that like button and subscribe for more coin collecting secrets and rare money finds. Drop a comment below if you've got a 1945 penny, or if you've ever come across a rare coin in the wild. Who knows, maybe your story will be the next one we feature. Thanks for watching, and keep checking your change. That 1 cent could be worth a whole lot more than you think.